महाप्रसाद अन्न प्रसन्ने विनियोगः ओम अच्युत अन्नपते अन्नस्सनो देहि अनविमस्स सुस्मिनः प्रदातारं तारिसः पुरुजंनो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे स्वाहा ओम कानाय स्वाहा ओम प्रजापति विष्णु ऋषि गायत्री छंदः श्री जनार्दनो देवता कुमारस्य महाप्रसाद प्रसन्ने विनियोगः स्वाहा
ओम प्राणाय
स्वाहा ओम जनार्दनान्नपते कृणुत अन्नं नो देहि पीयूषरसाक्तं ते अन्नं यद्दज्जुगेन देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे स्वाहा ओम अपानाय स्वाहा
ओम अपानाय
स्वाहा ओम प्रजापति विष्णु ऋषि गायत्री छंदः स्वाहा श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण देवते कुमारस्य महाप्रसाद अन्न प्रसन्ने विनियोगः ओम लक्ष्मी नारायणो अन्नपति अन्नम अमृतम नो देहि कमला संस्कृतम ते भुक्त शेषम नो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे स्वाहा
given to these children. So what swaha?
उदानाय स्वाहा
Swaha.
ओम प्रजापति विष्णु ऋषि गायत्री छंद से जनार्दन देवता
Dhyanaya swaha.
कुमारस्व महाप्रसाद प्रसन्ने विनियोगः ओम अन्नपते जनार्दनो षोडशमिक्त सिक्तं निवेदितं च सदन्नं देहि किल्लिशापाहं नो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे स्वाहा वनाय स्वाहा
If you want to be happy forever in this life and after this, that life, this life, you should chant and remember Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Without this, worldly wealth, reputations, sense gratifications, and so many things, they cannot give you happiness. Never, never and never. Never. And that is why Swamiji came here, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj came here, everywhere, to give this message to whole world. After his departure, so many devotees became weak. No so much strong faith on him. No strong faith on name. That name is himself Krishna and more merciful than Krishna even. Very powerful. They returned to their home for sense gratification, to make wealth, reputation, to make so many businesses, because they had no strong faith on it. That name can give you everything, even eternal bliss. In Golok Vrindavan it can give. Why not these material things he can give? But it is hard, very hard to believe. We have seen by name Brahma is created. Brahma is creating whole universe. By the power of taking name, Shankar, oh, very marvelous thing. He can give any boon to anyone. No? Sukadeva Goswami, Narad Goswami, Vyas and others. Even Nityananda Prabhu Haridas Thakur changed so many lives. Like demons like Divine Madhai and so many. What Swamiji did miracle in this world? chanting so many persons, so countless. How? Only by the mercy of name. He gave. Sitting in the park of New what doing? Only closing eyes. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. He changed the hearts of hippies and made them so many, numberless. So you should have faith in name. But how it will come? The backbone of bhakti is Guru Nishtha. Without Guru Nishtha and by his serving and by his teaching, following, you cannot have that kind of. So what is Guru Nishtha? With some explanation and udaharan. Examples. Oh. Pandrik Brahmachari will explain something. Not so much, because time is not so much. I will have to complete today or just till 7:30.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana
You can do no.
Chakshurunimilitam Yena
What
Tasmai
Shastra has explained. On, let him do. If he is speaking or no.
Pancha Kalpatrusya Kapasam
Oh, you told me tomorrow. You, oh my daughter, you told me what are you doing, how going? Tomorrow.
First of all, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj, and I offer proper respects to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Want that we should discuss and hear about the importance of Guru Nishtha. What is Guru Nishtha? Nishtha means faith, but not ordinary kind of faith or a belief. Here, Nishtha means strong, unflinching faith, determination. That's called Nishtha. For whom? For Guru. That's why Guru Nishtha. If we see in the life of all the great souls, those who have attained perfection in the past, we will see that each one of them, they followed in their life this principle very strictly. And by their own example, they showed us that regardless of one's material situation, eligibility, qualification, disqualification, etc., etc., if one takes seriously to the instructions of spiritual master, then in no time one attains perfection. This is the rule since the beginning of creation, that if any conditioned soul has to liberate his or herself from this material conditioned state of life, then the only hope is to hold the finger of that liberated soul, who is known as Guru. The word Guru
has two letters, Gu and Ru. What does that mean? Gu means darkness or ignorance, and Ru means enlightenment, knowledge. So one who brings me or one out from that ignorance and brings me to the real essence of life, the reality about one's own existence, reality about this world, this creation, the Supreme Lord, then this person is known as Guru. All the scriptures which we read, the Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam especially, because Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the scriptures. All of these scriptures have been written by whom? Or manifested by? In the recent time, because Shastra is eternal. It has been manifested in recent time by Srila Vedavyas. Everyone accepts his authority on his scriptures. So what did he do? He composed Vedas and then he wrote down the essence of the Vedas in Vedanta Sutra. And then further he explained the essence of Vedas in Upanishads, Purans. He also composed Mahabharata. And after doing everything else, until now, all these scriptures beginning from the Vedas, it includes every bit of knowledge required for anyone, for any subject matter in this material world. It contains in that. It has been categorized in 4 divisions: Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Dharma means religion. Arth means what one wants, or in general sense we say economics. Kam means the desires in terms of enjoyment, what we want to experience in this world, what we want to have. And moksha, liberation. That's the highest goal one can think of, or most of the people in this world, they think of or they want. Even in India, if we go, we will see everyone, whether they know or not, their goal is they want moksha, because that's the highest, supreme, attainable destination for living entity in their understanding. So Srila Vyasadeva has discussed in details about all these things in his scriptures, which I mentioned a while ago. But even after composing all that vast literature, Srila Vyasadeva himself was not satisfied. Surprising. Every information is given there, the way how one should live in this material world and one can be happy. But despite that, he himself is lacking something. He's searching for something. He's not fully satisfied. So, in that despondent state, and morose, Srila Vyasadeva was sitting and thinking, what shall I do? And in the meantime, what happened? Srila Narada Muni. Who is he? The Guru of Srila Vyasadeva. He appeared at that point, at that place. And Srila Vyasadeva, he, with the deep affection of his heart, he properly honored, welcomed Sri Narada Muni, and after duly honoring him, giving him proper seat and welcome, he inquired the cause of his distress. But before that, because Guru is all-knowing, so Srila Narada Muni is knowing everything about Srila Vyasadeva. So he is inquiring before Vyasadeva wants to ask something. Oh, you look not very happy. Why? You have done great work. No one can do like you. And still you feel you are not content. You are still looking for something. You are still searching for something. Why is that? And then humbly Srila Vyasadeva is saying, I don't know. Why? Because I am the diseased. I am the patient. How can I know the cause of my disease? I don't know. You are a doctor. You know why I am suffering, why I am not happy, why despite making all this endeavor and achieving so many things in my life, I am still unhappy. I don't know. So this is the first important point that we have to understand. This all information which we are going to hear, this is all included in Nishtha, Guru Nishtha. Just by hearing the word Guru Nishtha, we will not become Guru Nisht. There is a process. It's a process, and it begins from scratch. It begins where one has no relationship, no information about anything. And then when one finds that important person in his life, one who will bring him to that eternal destination where he belongs to, he starts relating himself with that person. And then gradually, by properly communicating and making proper surrender, devoid of all other motivations, with pure sincerity, trying to execute the instructions of that spiritual master, he will come to that platform of Guru Nishtha, and then everything else will be revealed to him, not before that. So here Srila Vyasadeva, how nicely and humbly he is acting, how a disciple should behave or act, how the relationship begins with the spiritual master. So if we all, or any one of us, is feeling like that, similar like Vyasadeva in our life, that we need something, we are lacking something, so much we have tried in our life, all those years, some are young, some are old, but despite that we have our plans and we have tried so many ways to be happy, but we are not. So what we should do, we should go and inquire about our state from the soul, from the mouth of the spiritual master or guru. So when Vyasadeva submissively inquired from Narada Muni, then Sri Narada Muni said, yes, you have done great work. You have written so many scriptures, in those scriptures you have given information that how different conditioned souls in different situations of life, according to their adhikar, different qualifications, what they should do, which demigods and other worships they should do. And by doing so, what you did, somewhere you said, oh, Ganesh, he's the source of everything. He's the supreme God. And somewhere you said Lord Shiva. Somewhere you said Goddess Durga. Like that, you have confused the people. People cannot ascertain now in clarity that who is the supreme person, who is that supreme personality, who is controlling each one of us and each and every activity going on in the material world. And how one can relate to that supreme Lord. You have not mentioned that. You haven't described the glories of Sri Brajendranandan Shyamsundar, the son of Nanda Maharaj in Braj. You haven't mentioned about his pastimes, his sweet pastimes, that how being Supreme Personality of Godhead, knowing everything, omnipotent, yet still, how he acts in Vrindavan? Just like a normal, ordinary person, human being. Not knowing at all that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that he creates the material world or the spiritual world and everything that is there in the existence. With Mother Yashoda, he's having so many wonderful pastimes like a child. She controls him fully with his love, for her love and affection to be caressed by her. He has a great deep desire to sit in her lap, to drink her breast milk, and if he doesn't get that, he becomes disturbed. You haven't mentioned these pastimes. You haven't mentioned how with love and affection she can even bind him. And she did that. She can scold him. She can twist his ear. And he cries. Can you imagine? How does Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's having such wonderful loving exchange with his associates, and you have given no description about that. You haven't mentioned how he plays with his cowherd boyfriends in the forest when he goes for cowherding. What to speak, he has such a nice relationship with even the cows, with all the animals. So sweet relationship. Cows will not give milk unless Krishna comes there. How beautiful and how wonderful. And you haven't mentioned that. And above all, the wonderful pastimes with his intimate gopis. Fully controlled by their love. You haven't given any information about that. So then, what happened? After hearing this information from Sri Narad Muni, what did Vyasadeva do? He took the instructions of his spiritual master in his heart. And soon after he left, Srila Vyasadeva sat down in deep meditation, following the path of Shuddha Bhakti. Bhakti yogena manasa samyak pranihite amale pashyat purnam pursha mayancha tadapashyam. So, in this verse, it is described how Srila Vyasadeva, he sat down in meditation according to the method described by Narad Muni, exclusively with one pointed, resolute determination. He was focusing with Shuddha Bhakti at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Bhakti Yoga, that is the process of Shuddha Bhakti and unconditioned surrender. Like Sri Rupa Goswami has explained in the verse, Anya abhilashika shunyam jnana karmadhyanabratam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhakti uttama. This was the process what Srila Vyasadeva adopted. And then what happened? In his complete mature samadhi, in his transcendental state of trance, what did he visualize? What did he saw? What did he experience? He saw those wonderful, beautiful transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna with all the associates in Golok Vrindavan. All the pastimes like a chain. He saw everything. And then what did he saw? He saw all this material creation. And behind Krishna he saw that Maya Devi was standing a little bit away from Krishna and her face is bowed down. She's not feeling very happy. Why? Because she takes care of all the living entities who have come in this material world and who are conditioned. She takes the charge to purify them by giving them punishment. That's her duty. So she doesn't feel very happy about it, that these living entities who are actually part and parcel of Krishna, who are meant to enjoy eternal bliss and that loving relationship with Krishna, are suffering in this material world, and that she has to purify them or clean them of all that contamination of the material modes by punishing them. So when Srila Vyasadeva, he saw all these things by the mercy of Sri Narad Muni, then what did he do? He composed that transcendental jewel of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that, what did he wrote? Ete chans kala punsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That now, for sure you should know that all these manifestations, incarnations of the Lord which we see, Nirsingha, Vaman, Kalki, Ramachandra, so many incarnations, countless, innumerable, they are all what? They are all manifestations or expansions of Krishna. And Krishna is that supreme, original supreme personality of Godhead from whom they are all coming. We should not have any doubt about it. But what is the formula to understand? We should not grade it like someone is inferior and someone is superior. This is not the idea. That is material idea. He gave the example of moon. Like on full moon day, what happens? We see the complete full disk. And the whole atmosphere and whole planet is flooded with wonderful moonshine. And then other 15 on every 15 days, what we see, the moon is waning and waxing. So when we see moon very small, just like a small curve, very sliver. We saw like this. Then what does it mean? Does it mean that moon is now only in that shape? It's not a complete full disk? No. every day, then moon is growing. That means moon is growing and moon is decreasing. This is not the case. The reality is, because of our position here in this material world, every day we are seeing moon with a different shape, increasing or decreasing. But actually moon is complete like on the full moon day. Throughout, every time, eternally is like that. So similarly, all the expansions and incarnations of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu Tattva, they are same like Krishna. No difference in potency. Tattvata means principally they are all absolute truth. But the only difference is of the pastimes, the sweetness or the Madhuri aspect of the Supreme Lord, in which He has loving relationships with jivas of different adhikar. And according to the devotion of one devotee, the Lord manifests His beautiful form. So, the form of Sri Krishna as the son of Nanda Maharaj in Braj is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the complete manifestation of Godhood. That's the absolute form. It is complete in every respect. And thus, the living entities who have relationship with that form of the Lord, they are actually experiencing bliss to the complete degree. Nothing is left in that. Nothing is remaining. And also, what is another unique point about the pastimes of Sri Krishna? In any other incarnations, the Lord never manifests, or He gives opportunity to the living entities that they can have relationship with Him just like an ordinary person in this material world. Like we have friend or we have lover and beloved. All this relationship with no other incarnation are possible. Even in the incarnations of Sri Ramchandra, we don't see that. He only accepts Sita as his wife, and no other lady can be his wife. But if anyone has that desire that one wants to be the consort of the Lord, then what he can do? He can worship the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, and he will get this boon. He will get this desire fulfilled. So, when Sri Vyasadeva, he wrote this information in Srimad Bhagavatam, then he was satisfied. He felt that complete bliss, because now he knew his own relationship with the Lord. And by distributing this wonderful gift of love for everyone and giving that wonderful message, his joy was increasing. So many examples. Even in the example of Sri Narad Muni we see. Yesterday also in the class we were hearing Gurudev mention how Sri Narad Muni ji was so much attached to his gurus, the 4 Kumaras, and he strictly followed their instruction, chanted the mantra, and in no time he attained perfection. Furthermore, we see how Narad Muni gave initiation or mantra to Balmiki ji, to Dhruv Maharaj, to Prahlad, to Chitraketu Maharaj, to so many others. And each one of them attained perfection. But there was difference. There was difference of goal they all attained. So what does this mean? This means that not only having relationship with Gurudev is sufficient, but one has to continuously monitor and one has to carefully watch that if one is performing that complete surrender or not. If we take the example of Dhruv Maharaj, he also accepted Guru. He also had Guru Nishtha. When Narad Muni gave him mantra, he sat down and he chanted that mantra. But what happened? There was something lacking in his complete surrender. That's why his bhakti is called as Sakam Bhakti. Why? Sakam means having some desire, having some desire for his own self, other than serving the Lord. Because when Narad Muni, he was giving him mantra, he tested him in every way. But Dhruv Maharaj, he was understanding all the points of Narad Muni, and he said that, "Oh great sage, you are telling me everything for my well-being, but yet still the pain in my heart to take revenge of that insult, of that dishonor from my father, I cannot forget it. So, you kindly help me so that I can fulfill my desire." But also, he was committed, he knew that he can only fulfill his desire only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So this was good point. And Narad Muni, being so merciful, great sage, he knew, okay, let me give air to this small sparkle of bhakti in this living entity. And no sooner when he will perform the devotional service, the pure devotional service, automatically he will realize his true nature. That's why we see that person who is called Guru is not an ordinary person. He has that ability, he has that compassion, that despite taking all the pain and despite tolerating all the misbehaviors of conditioned souls, he engages them in the devotional practice. And gradually he gives them that knowledge and brings them to that platform where they realize their true nature and they establish themselves in that relationship with the Lord. And that's what happened with Dhruva Maharaj. After properly chanting mantras with strong devotion, strongly following, not lacking, oh, one day mind is cooperating, another day mind is not cooperating, so he's confused whether I should follow or it should not follow, or any bodily problems or disease or money problems or worldly problems. No. Completely. The day Narad Muni gave him this mantra, he sat down on that hill in Madhuban forest near Vrindavan and continuously followed the chanting of mantra, following strong austerities. And in 6 months he realized his goal. He was given darshans by the Supreme Lord. And then when that happened, what did he felt? He felt so much disappointment. Why? Because he had that desire to be wealthy, to be king, more powerful or wealthy king than his father. So that's why Supreme Lord said, you have performed so nice devotion, but because you had desire in your heart, so this must fulfill. And Dhruva Maharaj realized that actually he was looking for a broken piece of glass, because all this material wealth or positions, what is it actually? It is really even more worse than a broken glass. And what he found? He found real diamond. But now, because he had that desire, so Lord ordered him to rule this material world for a long period of time. And then after that, by the following of those wonderful performance of bhakti, it was assured that he will definitely achieve his eternal servitorship to the Supreme Lord. So similarly, in all the examples we see this, that the great souls have followed this path and they followed with strong devotion. They had no doubt in the words of their Guru. No doubts at all. And they served him with their life and soul. And we can also remember the acharyas in our parampara, Sri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. All of them, they exemplified, they showed this path. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how he was so qualified and he was such a big scholar. And yet, when he came to take the shelter of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, what happened? What do we see? Srila Babaji Maharaj, so humble he was, that he refused to give mantra to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, saying that, oh, you're so qualified, I know nothing, so how can I give you mantra? But what did Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did? He took his life in his hand, humbly, and committed that if I don't get this mercy from you, there is no hope for me in this world. There is no meaning to my life. I'll give up my life. He was refused twice. And then, on the request of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and actually, Srila Gokshor Das Babaji Maharaj was inspired by Sri Gaurachandra and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and then he gave the mantra to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Here, this is also very important to see the other aspect. I want to mention about Ekalavya. We also hear about Ekalavya so much as one of the ideal disciples of any guru, especially in specific Srila Dronacharya. So many people regard him, and they give example also that, oh, we should become disciple like Ekalavya. But there's big mistake here. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given the true aspect of his nature in his article about him. And he underlines the fact that actually who he was. He was a complete demon, and that's why he was killed by the hands of Krishna. If he was a pure devotee, if he was a Vaishnava, why he ended up like that? Why he got that fate? Krishna never kills his devotees, he only kills demons. So by this we can understand that he was not a pure devotee. Furthermore, if we closely watch, then what happens? He comes to Sri Dronacharya and then he requests him to educate him in the knowledge of archery. And what did Sri Dronacharya did? He refused him, no, I cannot teach you. Then what did he do? Did he follow the example like I just mentioned about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Srila Narottam Thakur, that when they were refused, then they did not show their ego? But Ekalavya, what did he do? What did he do? Oh, okay. If you don't give him if you don't educate me, if you don't accept me as your disciple, doesn't matter. Within his heart, he's thinking like that. And then he went and he made a statue of Sri Dronacharya and he started learning the art of archery. So what is this? This is not Guru Bhakti. Why? Because he's not following the instruction of his Guru. If his Guru is saying no, then that means he should accept it. It would have been that Dronacharya was testing him, let me see. But he did not took that as a test. He did not try to follow at all or try to see, oh, what my Gurudev is wanting from me. Yet, with his own strong inspirations, he said, okay, I can do on myself. So it was a display of false egoism. And then, when later we see how Pandavas, when they came to forest and they took note that how Ekalavya was becoming so expert in archery, and the matter was reported to Dronacharya. And when Sri Dronacharya again came to him and he said, oh, who is your Guru? And then he said, you're my Guru because I'm taking all the inspiration from you. So Dronacharya ji knows everything because he's not simply an expert archer. He's also a devotee. He knows all the truths. So he knew that this person, but only thing, why he attained perfection, that he still accepted Dronacharya's inspiration. So only because of that, he had his desire fulfilled. Or in the example of Virochan and Indra, we see when they went to Lord Brahma to get knowledge, what happened? Lord Brahma gave them knowledge gradually, testing them. First, what did he say? He said, oh, the absolute truth means, oh, this body, what you're seeing, this is the absolute truth, you should accept it, and now you should be happy. And both of them, they returned to their kingdoms. And Virochan, he became so happy. Oh yes, now no problem. And he announced in his entire demon kingdom that, oh, what we see is our real self. So now we should simply try to satisfy this body. And whoever is dear to this body is our actual friend, and one who is not favoring the comfort of this body, he's our enemy. So he should be killed. And by any means we should try to make ourselves happy. No need to consider good, bad, cheating or honesty. No need. Because after death there's nothing. This is what it is. This is the absolute truth. And this has been authorized by Lord Brahma. Because he gave me this knowledge. So what does the demon do? They do like this. They will go to the pure devotee and superficially accept him as Guru. And because of their lack of 100% complete surrender, because they have cheating propensity in their heart, they get cheated by that Mahabhagavad. Because the devotees are like that. They know that giving real bhakti in heart, meaning what? Giving the Supreme Lord Himself. And this person is not qualified because he himself wants to become the master. So he doesn't have that service mood. What he will do? He will disturb the Supreme Lord. So they deprive him of that supreme wonderful Jew. And on the other hand, what did Indra do? When Indra heard this knowledge, he was returning and he was contemplating in his heart, oh, if this body is the absolute truth, then we hear that absolute truth is eternal and it's sublime, it's full of happiness, there's never any distress. But I see this body is going through so many problems. Birth, death, old age, disease, and eventually this body dies. But if it's absolute truth, then how can I reconcile this? Oh, maybe I should go back and I should request to my Gurudev to enlighten me. So he went back and then he requested very humbly, submissively that, oh Gurudev, you spoke this knowledge to me, but I'm not satisfied. I have not understood. Can you please tell me what is the essence of your instructions? And Lord Brahma smiled. Oh, there is some hope for him. He's thinking, and he said, okay, so now you should be in this ashram for 32,000 years and serve like a brahmachari. And in the ashram of his Gurudev, Indra was serving Lord Brahma in so many ways, doing everything for him for 32,000 years, completely living like a brahmachari. And then, after spending that much time, he came in front of his Gurudev. And then Lord Brahma said, okay, now you should understand that when you sleep, then in your sleep, the person who is moving, who is active, he is absolute truth. And Indra was very happy to hear that. It was a one step deeper knowledge. So then he returned again. And then, but again he was thinking, oh, if this is truth, absolute truth, then why again is temporary? Again, because what we see in dream is not real actually. One might get, attacked by a lion in a dream and start perspiring, but as soon as he gets, awake, he says, oh, I'm okay, no problem. Or one may become the king of America or, Holland or any country in the dream. Or one may, marry any beautiful girl, or one may marry any beautiful person or whatever. So many things can happen. Or one can, rob a bank, whatever. But when they come back to their awakened state, their conscious state, then that is not existing anymore. So, and we see, we have so many kind of dreams because of past life's impression. Sometimes we are attacked, sometimes we are happy. So many kind of dream, or bitten by a snake. So Indra is thinking that, oh, there's something more which I need to know. This is not sufficient. This is not complete. Now he went back again to Lord Brahma and again requested that, oh Gurudev, I could not understood even this knowledge also. Please tell me the essence. And again Lord Brahma said, good. Now again you should follow strict brahmachari life for another 32,000 years. And he did that. So, meaning what? What Indra is wanting, or in the name of Indra, any such true seeker of knowledge, what he's actually aspiring for. He's aspiring for that eternal destination or that eternal wealth. By achieving, no longer he will need anything else in the material world or anywhere. His all desires will be fulfilled. So if one is actually trying to fulfill that supreme goal, so one can imagine what cost he should pay for it. He must pay something. It should not be so cheap. So just because he should realize the value, and then he should properly honor that goal, Lord Brahma is preparing him. He's already been selected for the mercy. But now preparation is going on. Training him. And then when he saw that now he's furthermore educated, good, eligible for further knowledge, then when Indra came to Brahmaji again, then Brahmaji said, oh, the yogis in their meditation, what they try to meditate on, that supreme wonderful form of the Lord, is absolute truth. This is the essence of everything, and if you know this truth, and if you follow this process in your life, you will be eternally happy, and you will have no problems in your life. So then when Indra received this information, then he came back and he started following the instructions of Lord Brahma. So similarly, in all these examples we see that Guru Nisha means that one surrenders all of one's energy in the lotus feet of Gurudev, without a second thought, without doubting. But before accepting anyone as Guru, one should make sure that if that person is qualified enough to be regarded as Guru or not. It's not that any person who is just speaking on Shastra because he's taken to a particular dress which looks like of a saint, or just because he's worshipped by so many people we should accept him. No, this is not the criteria. We are here. Yesterday we heard the qualification of Guru. So, according to those symptoms, if one is really exhibiting those qualities in one's character, then only that person should be regarded as Guru. And one should submit himself completely with body, mind and words, accepting him as 100% complete representation of the Supreme Lord himself. Krishna says, Acharya Mam Avijanyam. You should understand and you should have complete belief that who is Acharya? I am myself coming in the form of Guru and telling you this path. So you shall have no doubt. Just by the blessing of the Guru, when he is pleased, every knowledge and everything, all the details, everything will manifest in one's heart. And nothing else will be left. So, we should pray with our sincerity that although we have made this strong step in our life, we should be blessed with this wonderful gift of Guru Nishtha in our lives, that we can actually realize that who is Guru, what is his mercy, what he really wants from us, and we can actually, after understanding these things, realize and follow and be able to surrender ourselves. Because until that point, unless this happens in our life, there is no way that we can make any progress, any little amount of progress is not possible. Only when one has this strong Guru Nishtha, there is any possibility that one will have any favor from the Supreme Lord or any progress on the path of Bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Narayana. Oh, he is Guru of all. He is Jagat Guru. He has understood the essence of Bhakti. And what is this? What is this? Always he is singing the glories of Radha Khan. Narad Muni bajaye bina Radhikar. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bo. 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 Hari Bo. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman 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 Hari Bol. Don't sleep here. If you want to sleep, I will give you a pillow and very good bed here. But here, try to hear very strong. We have some message too.
There's a black Honda in the parking lot. If it's not moved in 2 minutes, it will be locked in all night.
So you have if in your car, you should keep it outside of their fence. Let me give your ears to me. Formally, how many? 25 minutes. I only want 25 minutes. There was a very learned person, very high class of person. In ancient time, it has written in Vedas, Upanishad. His name was Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya. He was like a realized soul. He had two wives, Katyani and Maitreyee. He was the prominent Brahmagyata in the council of Maharaj Janak, the father of Sita Devi. When he became of the age, he crossed the age of 50, he called his two wives. Oh, you see, I had thousands and thousands of cows. I want to divide you. Half you should take half. You have two sons and one daughter, and you have also two sons and one daughter. What I have got from donation of Janak and other parties, I am dividing it into two. So you should be happy and allow me to go to forest to chant and remember Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I am growing old. This is our system in Vedic culture. Both became very happy. Katyani told, you are my husband. You are given everything. Good palace to live. Good garden. Two sons and one daughter. So much wealth, so much cows, everything you have given. So now you can go and you can practice what you want. But second wife, she told, I want to know something from you and then you can happily go. But please answer my questions. The question was this: what you are now giving to me, son, daughter, wealth, reputation, gold so much, cows so much, everything you are giving. My question is that, can they make me happy forever? Oh, then he became very happy. Oh, he embraced her. Oh, really, you are my half dharmini, sadharmini. That is why I like you so much. Any general person cannot put a question like this. Very rare. Now I want to say you that something is there. Hidden thing. Maitreyee told, you are giving all these things to me. But even having all these positions with you, why you are giving up and going to forest? If these things, materials, can give me happiness for eternal happiness, then why you are not getting happiness from these things and you are giving up and going to forest? So really I know that these material things cannot make you happy. Momentary happiness they can be. And then he took that wife with him in the forest and helping each other. They began to practicing bhakti yoga. So here you should know, these are not only myths, like stories. Really these are things. I know that you want bhakti. You want all bhakti. But you want material, these sense, the things for sense gratification more. That is why you are not giving your whole attention and energy for bhakti. You have more faith in material things rather than bhakti. If you have bhakti, more for these things, chanting, remembering, serving Gurudev, then why you are engaged here? Why not always chanting, remembering? So really this is not bhakti what we are now doing. You should think it. It is not Sarup Siddha Bhakti. Constitutional Bhakti this is not. Transcendental Bhakti it is not. What we are doing now? Having some desire, worldly desire, like Dhruva. Having some desire, like Prahlad Maharaj. Was very bona fide bhakta. He never wanted any worldly things, but he could not serve Krishna. You know? He has some liking. And what is this? Or some mixture with jnana in his bhakti. So our bhakti now is not pure constitutional, transcendental bhakti. You should know this. If you have some desire, worldly desire or any desire. And what is this? Sam Siddha Bhakti and Arup Siddha Bhakti. You should know what is Arup Siddha Bhakti and Sat Siddha Bhakti and then Sam Siddha. Then you will clarify all these things and then you can engage your whole senses in Swarup Siddha. Otherwise not. If you are making any business and by business you are making very beautiful garden, so many fruits and so many things, and from that fruits and flowers you want to offer all to Krishna. To make a garden, to make all these things is not pure bhakti. Only Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasheman, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dashyam, Shaktam, Arthanam. This is pure bhakti. To chant always, to remember Krishna, to hear the pastimes of Krishna in high class of association, especially 5 bhakti, more superior. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Sraman, Vrindavan Vas, Shraddha. What are these 5? What are these 5? Only name. Sadhu Sangha,
Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, and Mathura Vas. Mathura Vas means living in Brajadham, or Navadvip Dham, or Jagannath Puri Dham. And
in association of high class.
And Srimurti Shraddha Sevan, service of deity. But we have to remember one thing, the Sadhu Sangha is common to all. If we give up Sadhu Sangha and do, then it will be zero. So we have to maintain all these bhakti limbs with Sadhu Sangha, with good association.
If you are chanting name, but not in the guidance of your Vaishnava, then your chanting will be like zero. After some time you will give up chanting and you will go to overworldly life. Taking again meat and other fishes, eggs and all these things, drugs. You lose your everything. So this association of high class Vaishnava and their guidance it should be there. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, or you should do Nam Kirtan, but in the guidance of a very pure Vaishnava Guru. You should read Bhagavatam, but in the guidance of any high class of Vaishnava. Otherwise he can't. So everywhere, sadhu sang, sarva shastra kahe, sadhu sang, law matre sadhu sang sadhu. Oh, in a moment you will be changed and pure bhakti will come. If bhakti will come, even a drop, even, oh, at once you will be happy. First. Second, renounce will bound to come. And all your sufferings will go away. Because bhakti is in the first stage, clash happening. She takes away all kinds of suffering. But we see that we are all suffering. So many rogues, so many things. So our bhakti is not pure even. What is that? Oh, Samsiddha, especially. Mixed with karma, mixed with jnana. So try to be bhakti. Totally surrender in the Lord's feet of your Gurudev and be always in his guidance. You can see all these things in the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. You have heard from Pundarik Brahmachari. Oh, very well he explained everything. So you should also think. What he told and essence of whole Shastra from beginning to end, you can see in the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. How? When he was a boy, baby, oh, Krishna managed a very pure and high class of Vaishnava association, or his Guru. What is the name of his Guru? Jadunandan Acharya. He never knew anything, Raghunath. Though he is eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he is posing something for us. How a person can develop his Krishna consciousness. So you should see. In the beginning, Krishna managed him to have a good association. The Jadunandana Acharya had very powerful devotees of Advaitacharya in his relation. In his line, a disciple of Advaitacharya Parivar. So very high class of devotee. And sometime after, he had association of Haridas Thakur. Who did it? Raghunath Goswami did it, or by the arrangement of Krishna everything was coming? According to your impression of previous life or this life, your hankering for bhakti, your service to your Gurudev, it will come. And with a renounce, from boyhood, you have seen Raghunath Das Goswami. He did not like wealth, no praise, nothing. Tina dapi sune taruropi sahisunana manina manada. Try to follow his life from beginning. Be dependent to Krishna, or Krishna can do anything. What? He is powerful to do. What is not to be done? Impossible also it is possible for Krishna. Because he is Achinta Shaktishali. Achinta? Oh, we cannot. He can do anything. So you should determine. Oh Krishna, I have surrendered. I want your pure bhakti. And then Krishna will send a Guru. Like Prabhupada, Krishna sent Naradji. For Valmiki, he sent Narad. For Vyas, he sent Narad. For Prahlad Maharaj, he sent Narad. Everywhere. So you should be like that. You should know that in this world there is no happiness. Only problems and problems. You see, today in Annaprasan, the boy was deeply sleeping. I wanted to awake him. but he was so much absorbed in sleeping. Then I did something like massage, and he began to weep. And when he was weeping, then I gave some sweet in his mouth. Oh, now he became. So you are all sleeping, whole world is sleeping. Krishna sent any high class of group like Swamiji, Bhakti Yoga Prabhupada. He came, and all were engaged in sense gratifications, sleeping totally. And what he do? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, you are hippie. You are giving me cigarettes. You are giving me alcohol, buying everything. You are my best friend. You should come and join me. And they joined. And what they are doing? Only dancing. All hippies. They kept their all utensils there and they began to dance. And after some time what became? Oh, miracle hippie became. Now they are preaching whole world the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you should be like that. Be like that. So many persons began to follow him. They left their homes. They left their wives, their children, their husband. I know that at that time, she a very beautiful, teeny-aged girl. But what became? Now she is preaching everywhere. And quite renounced. She has no desire, worldly desire. Nothing. She is satisfied. So many are. So try to be like that. If you want to be happy, eternal happy. Follower of Raghunath Das Goswami. After what became? Oh. Anyhow, he received the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Without Nityananda Prabhu, but without the mercy of Baldev Prabhu. Oh, Akhanda Guru Tattva. Wholesale Guru Tattva is Nityananda Prabhu. All the Gurus are manifestation of, if they are real Guru. Otherwise, bogus Guru are not manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu. Now, very rare Guru. Fallen, like Ritiks now. Oh, Ritiks are now growing up. Bogus things. You should not have any belief on them. Be far away and careful from these animal creatures. They don't know what is this. They want to again cheat. They have cheated themselves and others. And now they cheat again. They want to cheat themselves and also to others. Be very far away. Then, in the life of Haridas Thakur, and he was going, and any dancer, and playing it with snakes. Snake charmer. And when he was singing on flute to make dance of his snake, Haridas Thakur heard the Kaliya Daman Leela from his mouth. He was singing, and at once he became like faint, dancing and dancing. And all began to take his feet dust. Then there was a very cruel and nonsense Brahmin. He thought that all are taking the feet dust of Nityananda. So I also should dance like him, and all will come and take my feet dust. When that flute wala was singing the pastimes of, sweet pastimes of Kavya Daman Krishna. Oh, that Brahmin began to dance and, like a posing, imitation, and he fell on the ground. But the flute wala has a very good stick, and by a stick he hit 3 times very badly, and he ran away from there. So this imitation is not good. High class of devotees, they know. So don't imitate to be, I am now a realized soul, I am Guru, I can help others. Don't see. After that, the mercy of Nityanand came, and then he told that now you are, I have taken all your obstacles. Now you can meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then how he went to Puri, giving up very beautiful at that time Miss Universe. He left. And very kingdom, big kingdom, so much wealth. He left everything. And now what? We are being a devotee, we are collecting all these things. Very nonsense. If you want to be more beautiful, decorating ourselves, what is this? Why not this? Okay, आपको कहा वैराग्य क्यों नहीं आता? Detachment is coming. So if there is defect in your chanting, remembering, you are not doing so much. You are engaged totally in making money, that by money I can be happy. Oh, give up this idea. Only by chanting name. You see Haridas Thakur. You see Raghunath Das Goswami. Even his father sent so much money and Brahmins, cookers, but he rejected. He rejected everything. Why? He was taking some prasadam from market, even he also rejected to be standing on the Singhadwar. Anyone will come and give me something. Oh, this is like prostitutes, they do. I am not like that. He refused also. And how he was renounced. If you like devotion this kind, or you will have to follow his life. And if you are not following, then you are doing what? Some Siddha Bhakti, not pure Bhakti, or of Siddha Bhakti also. So you should know that mixing with Gyan and Karma, or Jog, Tapasya and other things, mixing with any worldly desire, that Bhakti is not pure. We should try to do pure Bhakti. Even being in family life, like Draupadi, you know, Krishna was controlled by Draupadi, though she was in family life. Arjuna was family life. Oh, you know, all the gopis in family life. But they are more than Narada Rishi Jagat Guru. Narada is the Guru of also Jogmaya. Jogmaya, you know? Purnamasi Devi. But they are Guru of Narada Rishi also. Who? Gopis. Guru of Krishna also. Supreme Lord. Krishna has admitted this fact that gopis are my friend, gopis are my servant, they are my guru, they are my everything. So you should know. Gopiraj, everything. They are servant of Krishna. They are guru of Krishna. They are friends of Krishna. They are general of Krishna. They are everything of Krishna. Krishna has surrendered in the Lord's feet of Radhika. He wants to massage her feet, to take a stamp from her Lord's feet. What? Colored from feet. Oh, I am Das of Radhika. Oh, this is called pure bhakti. very, very high, very, very बहुमूल्य चीज है, valuable thing. If you want to buy some vegetables from market, take some money, even $1, $2, $3 is sufficient. If you want to have any golden chain, then you will have to take some more dollars. If you want to buy Krishna, and that Krishna Prem, highest thing, then highest wealth you will have to give for that. That is, what is that? What is that? Oh, Nishthaim Guru, Nishthaim Krishna Bhakti. Only this can be, otherwise no. Don't depend on worldly these things. That money will help you. Oh, so much wealth will help you. Oh, big, big rooms, houses, equipped with to control cold, to control hot and everything. Oh, I want a car in which everything is there. Singing is there. Oh, sit to advance some like this. Oh, I can sleep also. So, really, this is wrong. We should try to realize this bhakti, or nirguna bhakti, this is called. So, you can find everything in the life of Raghunath Das. If you want really bhakti, you should try to follow Raghunath Das. Not worldly money, praise, or anything. And be happy for it. Go, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare